and I got a gym membership in December last year, and I have not been going at all for the last 2 months because of sickness, busyness, whatever else. So I'm trying to go today. I've never been like a super crazy workout person, but I did used to run a lot, and I kind of miss that. So I was thinking maybe I'll set a goal for long distance running this year and maybe try to do a 10K in the fall, maybe? I don't know. Anyways, it's a beautiful cold day. My husband doesn't have to leave for work till later, so we're both gonna go to the gym and drop off my son at daycare now. Is she a good ramp?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm home now, showered, made a little stop at the bank because I need to go there tomorrow to open a business bank account for my business. For my sewing stuff, I still haven't done that. I made myself a matcha and it looks like a swamp. I tried to do a blueberry oat matcha. I mean, I did. I didn't try. I made it. But I think I put too much matcha powder. It tastes pretty good, but I also think the matcha I bought isn't the best. It's not a super bright green. I just bought it off of Amazon. You can tell me what your favorite matcha brand is because I would love suggestions. But anyways, I wrote out my list of things to do this week because that was really helpful last week. I know it's such a silly thing that making a list is like a revelation for me, but I think that I am an ADHD girly. My son was just diagnosed with ADHD like a few months ago, and I'm quite certain I have it. I haven't been diagnosed though, so I don't want to say for sure. But yeah, I hope that keeps me on track this week. I'm gonna try to do the short sample this week, and I also drafted the top pattern that I want to go with it. So I want to make those. I also finished my ruffle bag instructions and I sent it out to just like 3 testers last week, and I think they're almost all done. So I would love to launch that pattern this week. So I need to sew a sample and sew the sew along. So my goal is to sew that first and launch the pattern on Friday, and then I'll get to the other stuff I have to work on. But the life things that I have to do this week are set up the corporate bank account, which I'm doing tomorrow. Then I have to go get blood work done and an ultrasound done just because I found a new doctor recently and I haven't done any kind of like tests in a while. So she ordered me a bunch of stuff to do. And I have to do some like tax paperwork stuff. So that is my week. My husband's away again, but my mom is gonna come and help me because she's an angel and I love her. So yeah, that's the plan for the week. It is Tuesday morning and my kids got me up at 6:30. But thankfully my mom is here helping. So today I'm gonna try to finish my sew along. I really want to sew the mock-up of my top that I'm working on. And I'm just feeling very motivated to start that shorts pattern, which they're gonna be a set, so the shorts and the top. So I'm hoping that I can do both today, but I don't know. It's probably gonna be too ambitious because I have my bank appointment at 1, but maybe that won't take that long, we'll see. I also want to do a little bit of baking this week. I met up with some sewist friends last week, and one of them was, I think, like 38 weeks pregnant. And I just saw on Instagram that she just had her baby, and she just had a girl, and she has 2 boys. But I would really love to bake her something or like bring something over. I don't know if that's weird because we don't really know each other yet, but I just love doing that for like friends that have babies and like even people I don't know super well, just because I know how hard the first few weeks and months are of having a newborn. Even if you're a 3rd-time mom, it's just so helpful when you have a village and people bring over food and just help you with the day-to-day things that are really tough when you have a fresh baby. So I think I'm gonna send her a message later and see if maybe I can like drop off some English muffins or like sourdough or something like that. Also, this is my favorite way to do my hair. If you haven't tried sock curls, you need to because they're life-changing. This is better than how my hair looks when I curl it with a curling iron. It's unreal. You need to try it if you haven't. Just got home from dropping the kids off. It is -5 outside, which is insane for it being April 8th. It is so cold. I'm so ready for winter to be over. Anyways, it's 9:48 and I'm going to get moving on this sew along. The next things I have to do are sew the ruffles and put everything together. And yeah, my goal is to finish this by lunchtime, have my bank appointment, and then I'm gonna be really ambitious and try to sew my shorts and my top. So let's get going. I have finished the bag and finished filming everything. It looks really good, but I love this stripe with this tiger fabric and it turned out so cute. So it is 11:28 and I'm gonna have a little bit of breakfast. I haven't had any breakfast yet, and gather my documents for my bank appointment. And if I have time, I'll try and just project and cut out my shorts and top so that I can test them when I get back from my appointment. I've been wanting to start like a recipe book or a box, because a lot of the recipes I use, I save or like bookmark on my phone, but then sometimes I don't, and then I lose them, and then I don't know which one I used and which one I liked. So I bought myself a recipe box. I think there's something that's like so nice about things being tangible in today's age where everything is just online. I really like having a physical card for my recipes, and I feel like this is really nice too, because one day I'll be able to pass this down to one of my kids, and I love that. So the first recipe that I'm adding to my box is sourdough English muffins. I usually make them at night because they're an overnight recipe, but I'm gonna start them now, and it's like 12 o'clock, and I'll be able to shape them and cook them. Oh shoot, maybe that's not good. I'm gonna proof it in the oven so it'll be faster. But usually it's 12 hours of overnight proof, and then you cook them like after you shape them, an hour after that first proof. So hopefully I can do it in about 10 or 8 hours. So I'm not up at like 1 a.m. doing English muffins. So the recipe is from, I think it's called Feasting at Home blog, and it takes 1 cup of starter. Mine is just showing off lately. It's very bubbly. Then we're gonna put in 2 tablespoons of honey. Now we need 2 cups of milk. I'm using 2%, but whole milk is really good too. I just wouldn't use skim milk. Bonus points if you know where I live based on my milk jug. And the last thing is 4 cups of bread flour. 4. Then you just mix it up, and that is it for now. This is what it will look like, and we're gonna cover this and leave it at room temperature for 10 to 12 hours. What I love about this recipe is you don't need to do much. You just mix the dough, cover it, and then when it's done proofing, we're gonna mix in a little bit more flour, baking soda, and salt. So I finally just opened my business bank account. I made an appointment to do it a month ago, like in March, and then it was a snowstorm and the appointment got canceled, and I just never got around to doing it again. I will avoid tasks like that as much as possible. I'd rather sew an entire gown and clean my house top to bottom than make a doctor's appointment or go to my bank appointment. But anyways, pat myself on the back for doing that. Everything's done. It took a full hour to do that. It is beautiful out, even though it's really cold. it's always really sunny when it's cold. Canadians and Ontarians love to complain about the weather, and that's what I do. I can't help it. It's in my blood. All right, so I cut out a really quick draft and it's not quite right at the neckline, but otherwise I think it's pretty good. It has the amount of ease that I want. I'm going to be putting a little elastic channel in here. So I think I'm actually going to keep the length that it is and add a little more so it ends up at this length. But I do need to take a bit out of the neckline. Overall, it's pretty cute. This is draft 2. I took some width out of the neckline pretty much down the center front, and I think the neckline is perfect now. That is like exactly what I was going for, a nice high boat neck. And I swung out the side seam just a little bit more and I backed off the bust darts, which I think is good. What I'm thinking for this top is to have one version like this with facings at the armholes and necklines, but I want to do one version that would be good for like heavyweight fabric, which the muslin mimics pretty well. I think a version in like a midweight denim would be really nice with facings and top stitching and everything. And then another version that has elastic here to cinch it in at the waist, and then possibly a third one with ties at the sides to match the shorts. But this is looking really good, and I love that it doesn't need a zipper or like a keyhole back. It's very beginner friendly and super fast to sew it. Now I have to go get my son and make dinner and everything like that. So that's it for the sewing for today. I am very tired. It's 11:15 and I really should have done this earlier. I ended up putting half of my dough in the fridge so I could bake or cook some of them tomorrow morning. But I'm not sure if that will work because I've never done that before. So this is what it looks like. Now I have to add a teaspoon of baking soda, 1 to 2 cups of flour, and some salt. Teaspoon baking soda. I really should have done this earlier. I already messed it up. I was only supposed to put half a teaspoon. This is why you don't bake or sew when it's too late at night. I definitely didn't need to eat an entire English muffin at 12:15 in the morning, but I did. I timed this so poorly. It is 12:37. I just finished, so I'm gonna go to bed now because I'm so tired. But here is what I made. These are the bars. They look so good. And the English muffins. You're not in it. Okay. My mom and I just went to the mall and I stopped at Fabric Land and I was looking for a knit, but they didn't have anything that was the right color. And it was also super expensive. It was like $38 a meter, but I did get fusible fleece for my bag pattern. And I did find some oatmeal linen. This is like a really nice structured linen for pants because I have a secret project that I'm working on that hopefully I can tell you guys about soon-ish, probably in the fall. But yeah, I'm gonna go home now and try and get my top and shorts sewn today. So I'm back at home and I was gonna sew up that set that I was talking about, but the fabric that I wanna use is not pre-washed and I really should pre-wash it. I'm not sure if it's from Blackbird or from Sitka Fabrics, it's one of those. So I'm gonna throw this in the wash and then I'm gonna do some editing or computer work and have a coffee because I'm so tired right now. My toddler is back in my bed. He was in his bed for like a couple nights. We bought him a trundle bed because I've been sleeping with him and it's this whole thing. He would like cry, I would go into his room. He'd demand that I sleep in his tiny car bed. He had a car bed and I couldn't and tried to get him to come sleep in my room. Anyways, things have not improved yet. Hopefully in one of these vlogs, I will have a good update where he will be sleeping in his own room all night by himself. But right now I'm very tired. So I'm gonna make a coffee and I think work on the bag so long because I would really like to get that out to you guys.
Let's try. Is it? Yeah.
What's this one?
Ladies,
What's that one?
using more for the
Whoa.
a Sanosaurus.
Whoa. Mega.
Megazosterdon. Heterodontosaurus. Pyelophosaurus. And up the GS. Oh, it looks like a shark. It looks like a shark. Metaphorosaurus.
You know before I even turn the page? Are you reading these?
You're nuts.
I'm a nutso. You're a nutso.
No, you're nuts. I must have picked up garbage. Some people have turn on their shirt off and their socks. Scratcher already said it was mine. It takes.
Oh, Olive. Really late start to the day. I find that when my husband is home and he's like either working from home or off, everything is much slower because he is just a much more slow and easygoing person than me, apparently. I do everything fast and as quickly as possible, which isn't always the best. I should probably take a hint from him and slow down with things. Even though I'm doing this job where I get to like do what I love and something that I'm passionate about and be creative every day, I still feel very stressed all the time. And I think that's completely self-imposed. And I think the reason for it is because my income is so dependent on what I put out. And if I don't put anything out, then I won't make any money. So like that means content, patterns, etc. And maybe it's because I don't have a stable salary, and that's kind of like what's scary to me, is that like I really don't know where and when I'm going to make my money. But I feel like I need to just relax a little bit. I think that content creation is very glamorized, and you know, becoming your own boss and doing what you love is the goal for a lot of people. But I think what a lot of people forget about is that once it does become your career, it's no longer something that you do to relax and you do without pressure. So once you add pressure to it, it does, you know, not that it takes away from it, but definitely makes it more difficult. And the things that I want to make often get pushed to the side, and I have to think about what will perform well or what people will want to see me make. So that's like more specifically like videos, you know, what I create for Instagram reels and that sort of thing. I think patterns, I still definitely am making things that I want to, but I do want to focus a little bit more on beginner-friendly patterns because I feel like my audience is a lot of beginners. So today I have a call in like a couple hours with 2 of my sewing friends from Instagram. We try to do a Zoom call every month or so, I would say. We haven't done that many so far, but it's really nice to chat with other people that are in the sewing world or like self-employed creative space because I don't have any colleagues. So it's been just really nice and like good for the soul to chat with them. I got everything cut out. I had to open a window because I'm hot. It's like a workout cutting out fabric. I cut out the top and the shorts, and I'm gonna use some pre-made bias tape that I bought. This set takes so little fabric, which I really love, especially if you don't make your own bias tape. I think I had 3 meters of this washed linen, and this is how much I have left. Like, definitely about 1 meter. I love a pattern that doesn't use up too much fabric. I have my call in about half an hour, I think, maybe an hour. I have to check the timing, but I'm gonna try to sew this up quickly so I can see how the fit's looking. It is so dark in here. It's like gloomy and gray and snowing outside. But anyways, this is looking perfect. I am in love with the shape of the neckline. The armholes feel really good. I ended up raising them 1 inch. And now this bottom hem, I'm going to fold it up and sew it like a drawstring bag so that there are drawstrings that come up the sides and you'll be able to cinch it up. And then the neckline and armholes will be finished with bias tape, but I think this is perfect. I love this, and I think this is gonna be such a great summer staple. I just had my call with my friends and it was so lovely to just chat and catch up. Honestly, it's so nice to have friends that do similar work to you and are in the same community as you because it makes such a difference when you work by yourself and you have no coworkers. Emily and Jackie are kind of like my work friends, which is cool. That filled my cup for sure. And now I am pretty much done this top. I just have to sew the drawstrings. Maybe I'll just put it on to show you. I finished the neckline and the armholes with bias tape. I have not pressed it yet, but it feels pretty good. The bias tape that I used was pretty stiff. You can kind of see it doesn't lay the nicest. I haven't pressed it yet, but it's store-bought bias tape and it's like very polyester-y, which maybe was not the best choice for this linen because this linen's very like crumply and lived in and soft. But it does the job of keeping everything in place, which is good. It's coming along well. It is full-on snowing outside, but I think my husband and I are gonna grab a coffee and then I have to figure out what to make for dinner because I have not thought about that yet. I had no idea before I became a mom how much brain space meals take up because it is so much mental energy to plan what you're gonna make, keep tabs of what's in the fridge, try to cater every meal to all the people in your family so that you can make sure all of them are fed because my kids are pretty picky. I think that's pretty natural for little kids. One doesn't like broccoli, one likes peppers, one doesn't like pasta sauce, one doesn't like rice, one likes potatoes. So I end up making a lot of things that I just know that they'll eat instead of things that I'm like actually excited about to cook, which really sucks the joy out of cooking. And I really used to love cooking, but I'm hoping that, you know, as they get a little older, their palates will expand a bit and dinner time won't be such a struggle, but it is the single most annoying thing on my to-do list every single day. We just ran out and got a Starbucks and a snack. and picked up dinner because I just don't feel like cooking. I'm gonna make some roast potatoes. Got a roasted chicken. My one kid only eats broccoli, so making some broccoli. I also found some okra chips, which I saw someone eating on TikTok, and I wanted to try them, and they're actually pretty good. But we're just gonna have a really simple dinner, and it's freezing outside, so we won't be playing outside with the kids, but maybe we'll watch a movie or something downstairs. So yeah, that's my plan for the night. I didn't get to my shorts, but maybe I'll be able to sneak in a little bit of time after these potatoes are in the oven. Are you hungry? Okay, we made it to Friday. Let's see what we've checked off. I have filmed my sew along video for the ruffle bag. I just haven't had time to like edit it together. I was aiming to launch the pattern today, but that just was not possible. I think I'll try to edit over the weekend and maybe launch on Monday. I think that's pretty doable for me. I have finalized the instructions 99%, just have a couple changes to make. And I have filmed my weekly vlog and I did sew the shorts. So I sewed up the shorts that match the black top. So like a second tie shorts sample, and they ended up comically huge. So I don't know what I was thinking when I was redrafting the pattern. I wanted to like add a little bit more fullness, and they ended up looking like a diaper. So I didn't even film it because the kids were home and it was kind of busy, but I've recut all the pieces, seam ripped everything first so I could reuse what I had. And I'm gonna sew those up today, I think. But yeah, I did basically everything on my list except for my blood work. I did not do that. And I know why I didn't do that. It's because I don't want to, and I hate blood work and I hate needles. You'd think as someone who has had 2 babies, you do a lot of blood work when you're pregnant, and also went through IVF. I only did 1 round, but I had to have like 40 injections within the span of like under 2 weeks, and so many blood tests for that. You'd think that I'd be used to it by now, but I'm not. So anyways, I'm gonna try to do that next week. I think for today, I'm just gonna set myself an easy goal and just sew up the shorts. And once I'm done that, I'll reassess. So I had to take my son to a doctor's appointment, and it ended up taking like 2 hours. So that's pretty much my whole day, but I'm gonna try and finish these shorts. I just have to get the waistband on and make the drawstrings. Oh my gosh, it just broke. Wow, that's great. That is super cool. The doctor's appointment took a lot longer than I thought, and then my mom and dad and sister and niece decided to stop by for dinner, and so they're gonna be here for the night. So this is gonna be the end of this week's vlog. Thanks so much for hanging out with me again this week. I've been really enjoying this like weekly vlog format, so I think I'm gonna try to keep it going. Before I go though, I'm gonna show you the set because this is gonna be my new pattern, and I'm hoping to get it out for grading soon so that I can release it by like late spring, early summer, because that is the ideal season for this set, but I will show you. Okay, so this is it. Please don't mind my messy room. I did not finish the ties for the shorts, so that's one thing. And I also didn't hem this leg, but they will be this length and have a little side split. There are side seam pockets, and there will be drawstrings just like the top on the shorts. And I think I'll probably add patch pockets to go on the back, but it's like a really cute summer set. Very comfy and like easy to throw on in the summer, just like exactly what I love. So let me know your thoughts on the pattern. I'm gonna be working on it for the next couple weeks. So if there's like specific things you'd wanna see in it, definitely let me know. But yeah, I'm super excited about this pattern set. And if you made it this far, thank you so much for hanging out with me, and I'll see you in the next one.